My soul sings out to you, my love. My soul sings out to you. My soul sings out to you, my love. My soul sings out to you. Oh Lord, my God, you are my strength, like a mighty river to my heart. You are in me, you know my heart, and my soul sings out to you.
My soul sings out to you, my love. My soul sings out to you. My soul sings out to you, my love. My soul sings out to you.
Your constant blessings flow to me. You carry me on your wings. You are my life. You set me free. And I will love you forever and ever and ever. My soul, everybody sings out
to you, my love. My soul sings out to you.
My soul
Sings out
to you, my love. My soul, bring it down,
sings out
to you.
Thank you, Alexa Ehrlich and Matthew Hara. So good to have you back, Matthew, and you too, Alexa. It's been a while. Good morning, everybody. Let me just take y'all in. I've been at a bigger Sangha all week in Banff at our CSL retreat, and it's good to be home with my home peeps. I'm Kimberly Hawkins, Senior Minister here. It's always a pleasure to welcome you to Center for Spiritual Living Rogue Valley and Unity of Medford. We are, I always like to say, a spiritually progressive, radically inclusive faith community. And we teach tools to transform personal lives and help make a world for everyone. And we have a deep bench. Yes, last week, Reverend Stephanie, where are you? Yeah, and Reverend Michelle. We've had great guest speakers while I've been away at my son's wedding and then at the retreat, and I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful that we do indeed have a beautiful ecclesiastical team. I want to welcome those of you watching us online as well. You're part of this Sangha for sure. Let's see, I have a few introductions to make. You've met Alexa Ehrlich and Matthew Hara, our musicians this morning. On the pulpit with me this morning is our practitioner, Carol Wythe, who will be doing the invocation and reading. And Treasure Wild did our meditation this morning, and we'll be holding high watch, praying throughout the service for the highest and best good for everybody here and everybody online. So let's see, if you haven't already done so, please turn your cell phones off or in airplane mode. We're going to take a collective deep breath right now, turn it back over to our musicians to prepare us for our invocation and reading, and a reminder to please hold your applause just after this particular song so we can stay in that quiet, sacred place for our prayer.
Spend the day with love, and the day with love, sweet love. That's the way to God.
Start the day with love.
Spend the day with love, and the day with love, sweet love. That's the way to God. Start the day with love. Spend the day with love, and the day with love, sweet love. That's the way to God.
Let's take a collective, deep, centering breath, consciously becoming aware of that place of oneness inside of each and every person here, every person online, and every person who's going to watch this during the week. We are one because I know that there is one power, one presence, one life that is in each and every one of us here, that is in the sky, that is in the mountains and the trees and the birds. It is everywhere present. There is no place where that power is not. And that power that our beautiful musicians expressed so beautifully is love. It's only love. There can be nothing else. We're inseparable from that, and it's in us, as us, through us. And for that I am so deeply grateful. I know that things don't seem quite that way right now, but if we stay focused on the inside, where God lives and breathes us, beats our hearts, there is only love, and we can express it in every good way. And this day, I know that our beloved Reverend Kimberly is going to express it with wonderful soaring for all of us, uplifting us, bring us to wonderful highs of her week in the SOAR community. Beautiful. And our musicians have already demonstrated the upliftment that they can bring and do bring to us. And our sound crew, our help in the kitchen, all of them, and the volunteers that make this place so beautiful, and the ushers. It's all God, it's all good, and it's all designed to make us feel the love that is in and through and as each one of us. For this I am so deeply grateful, and I'm grateful for the fact that as I release these words into the law, I know that they are already so, and so it is. And for my reading today, I've chosen, I don't know what I've chosen. Okay. This is from the, by the way, This is from the Science of Mind 365, Ernest Holmes. And I feel like he's just absolutely wanting us to hear this in the first person, because he's saying I, but he means each and every one of us, I. So as you listen to me, please hear I inside of here. And it goes like this. As I consider consciousness in infinite being, I realize that its essence is love, and that this love is in and through everything and everyone. I know that this love essence, the very substance of life, the creative principle back of everything, flows through my whole being, spiritual, emotional, mental, physical. It flows in transcendent loveliness into my world of thought and form. I am conscious of this divine circuit, which love is. I feel its golden stream of force flowing from God through me and out into all of my thought rests upon, and returning to God. It's a circuit. I know that this force is ever flowing, ever renewing, vitalizing, bringing joy and harmony and blessings to everything and everyone it touches. It flows with power and purpose through everything I do as it leads me gently down the pathway of life. Consciously, I tune myself to this stream of perfect love. In its flow, I see it as ever-widening spiral of continuous right action, bringing me into ever-widening fields of expression. I, who am love, share myself, my love, with all humanity. I know that in love there is no separation for God, for love unites, and that is God. I sustain and protect it. Love sustains and protects its own. I know that the love I express blesses all who are in any way touched by it. It heals every condition, brings my own to me, and I am immersed in love. And together we say, and so it is.
So the first part of this song is in Sanskrit, and it talks about this supreme light, which is supreme love. They're intrinsically connected, and also its nature is compassionate, and it's supremely sacred, and it's the fabric behind all that is. Param Jyotishe Namo Namah Param Jyotishe Namo Namah Param Brahmaye Namo Namah Param Brahmaye Namo Namah compassion-filled, sacred, Holy One. Supreme light, supreme love, compassion-filled, sacred, Holy One. Together if you like. Supreme light, supreme love, compassion-filled, sacred, Holy One. Supreme light, supreme love, compassion-filled, sacred, Holy One. We are opening up in sweet surrender to the luminous love light of the One. We are opening up in sweet surrender to the luminous love light of the One. We are opening, we are opening, we are opening, we are opening. We are rising up like a phoenix from the fire. My brothers and sisters, spread your wings and fly higher. We are rising up like a phoenix from the fire. Brothers and sisters, spread your wings and fly higher. We are rising up. We are rising up. We are rising up, up, up. We are rising up. Supreme light, supreme love, compassion-filled, sacred, Holy One. Supreme light, supreme love, compassion-filled, sacred, Holy One. This is what we are, this is what we came from. This is what we are, this is what we came from. This is what we are, this is what we came from.
Thank you for that medley. Beautiful and so perfect for our talk, which is Soaring in Love. Beautiful, you two. And I just want to note that Carol White's prayer was so powerful that she knocked off the Science of Mind symbol. Thank you, Carol. Oh, my goodness. So yes, someone asked if I had prepared a slideshow, and I haven't had a chance yet. I only got back late Thursday night and had to unpack and write the talk and so on. But I think by next week I may bring in, before the service, a little slideshow of the beauty that I was immersed in all week. If you are my Facebook friend, you saw a taste of it. It was just amazing. So Centers for Spiritual Living had planned we have a biannual retreat. It happens every other year in some place beautiful, and I think it was 2020. Is that when COVID hit? We had planned to have it in Banff, and they had to cancel it. And by the way, before I go any further, I forgot to say, is there anybody here for the first time? Because we want to welcome you. Anybody here for the first time? I thought so. Let's give a little love here. So glad you could join us. I think Mary is going to get you a welcome packet. Thank you for being here with us. So I had planned to spend a few vacation days in 2020 because how many of you have ever been to Banff, Jasper, or Lake Louise? Oh my, then you know what I'm talking about. I've always wanted to visit that area of the world. And so what I did was I flew to Seattle, saved the center a little money because we drove the rest of the way, and drove with 3 friends, Reverend Linda Rapond, who many of you know, and Reverend Abigail Shire, who will be doing our practitioner retreat and will be our guest speaker next month, and another friend of ours, Jan Amberg. So we drove from Seattle through the Canadian Rockies on that Trans-Canada Highway to Kelowna and then on to Banff. And I get chills just saying that because you cannot imagine, if you haven't been there, the stunning beauty of these huge mountains right next to the road. And my, it was absolutely beautiful. So we spent, there was a ministers' gathering the first night, and then the next day, which I think was, we spent Tuesday and Wednesday traveling, so Wednesday night, Thursday morning, and then a 3.5-day retreat for all of our community. And so if you can imagine, talk about soaring in love. It's kind of interesting. The retreat is called SOAR. It has been called that for years. SOAR, it's not an acronym. I don't know how they named it, but it's kind of fitting that today the suggested talk title was Soaring in Love, because I am and have been soaring in love. Can you imagine being with, I don't know how many hundreds of people were there, but the music was phenomenal. I'm so glad we're blessed with a great music team here as well. The music was provided, in this case, by the house band for Center for Spiritual Living Calgary. I don't know if some of you know Pat Campbell, Reverend Pat Campbell, but I came back wanting to supplement our already phenomenal music team. I want a house band, and I do. It's not in the budget right now, but you can imagine these two supplemented by a bass guitar and drums to start with. They also had a saxophonist that I had a huge crush on. It was amazing, amazing. And then the talk, so I'll be sharing some of my biggest takeaways with you today, but what a blessing it is. And to realize the beauty of the Creator. This planet we live on is just so amazing. Some of you know I was in Disneyland a few weeks ago at my son's wedding and rode a ride called Soaring. Anybody gone on that one? And that too, you know, it's as if you were soaring around the globe, I don't know, in a glider maybe, and you glide down over the jungles and over the African, you know, with the wildlife, and over the Great Wall of China. And it's mind-boggling to have that perspective on this beautiful, beautiful earth that we inhabit. So if I had written the talk this week and had a chance to change the title, I might have changed the title. I will be talking about soaring in love, but I might have made the title this: Are you a thermometer, or are you a thermostat? Are you a thermometer or a thermostat? This idea was mentioned in one of the talks over the weekend, and it comes from the letter from Birmingham jail written by Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. If you remember, he was arrested in 1963 for protesting peacefully but without a permit. And this beautiful letter, anybody ever read the letter? I highly recommend it if you haven't seen it. It is an exquisite piece of writing. And he wrote it on pieces of toilet paper and in the margins of a newspaper. It is phenomenal. King believed that too many of us in an unjust society, it was unjust then and it's unjust now in maybe different ways, but still unjust, too many of us were merely thermometers. In other words, we reflect the temperature of the environment, rather than being a thermostat, where we set the tone, we set the bar. He wrote something about a thermostat, turns up the heat to make a cold-hearted world a warmer place to live. And when things get hot with anger and dissension, the thermostat cools the environment down. So a thermostat regulates the environment. It sets the bar. It doesn't just react and reflect. It sets an intention, if you will. So the question this morning I'm asking myself, and I want to ask all of it, is, are we conforming to the culture that surrounds us right now that is too often fraught with dissension and division and racism and sexism and homophobia, et cetera, or are we stepping forward to interrupt the patterns of hate, the divisive rhetoric? And are we doing that with faith and with hope and with love? There's something very powerful about a Sangha. I feel that this morning here. I felt that during the retreat in Banff. A Sangha, it's a Buddhist term that basically means spiritual community. You may well know. And it comes from a Pali word and a Sanskrit word. And the basic literal meaning is that which is well struck together. So as I look out, you and we are well struck together and not easily separated. We are strong together, yes, as a community. And in English, this word is usually simply translated as community or spiritual companionship. And I think that's very, very important, because when we talk about soaring in love, sometimes it's difficult to do on our own, yes? It's difficult to get that higher perspective that Treasure so beautifully led us into in her meditation that you all sang about. Sometimes we just get mired in the muck and the stuff that's going on here on the earth. So this idea of spiritual community uplifts us all. In his letter from Birmingham jail, MLK said this: "Don't ask whether you will be an extremist, but what kind of extremist will you be? Will you be an extremist for hate or for love? Will you be an extremist for the preservation of injustice or for the extension of justice? Model yourself after Jesus Christ, who was an extremist for love, truth, and goodness." Can I get an amen? Amen. So, in true religious science and unity fashion, when I set out on this journey with my 3 women friends from Seattle into the Canadian Rockies, in the car, one of the subjects of conversation was, let's each set an intention, a word that we're wanting to embody while we travel this journey together. My word was beauty. I don't know if you know that, but if you know that I'm a big fan of wildflowers and nature, I love beauty. Beauty is a God quality, yes? It's created by the Creator. So my word was beauty, and that certainly manifested. One of the other 4 chose the word joy. And beauty and joy kind of go together, don't they? Soaring in love brings us to joy. And it was sweet because during the retreat, many times, as you can imagine, the word joy was mentioned either in the songs or in the talk, and we'd all elbow each other, joy, joy. It was delightful. So that was powerful to set an intention on the journey. When we got there, after the minister's portion, which I won't talk about today, maybe for another talk, the main retreat had the theme of the hero's journey. And many of you probably know that the hero's journey appears in many myths. It appears in the work of Joseph Campbell, and it has many parts to it. There's the call to adventure that the hero or heroine hears, and they set out on this journey to an unknown place. They're met with obstacles and challenges. They walk through thresholds, but guarding the thresholds, there are threshold guardians. I'm going to talk about more about that in a moment. As they go through the threshold, they're supported by a mentor and guided, and they are eventually transformed. They are changed. They are grown. And then there's the return back to the homeland, but the return is done from an entirely different place in consciousness. So part of our process last week was to look at what are the things we need to release. This is something we do when we do our visioning process. You know, what's Spirit's idea of my life, or what's Spirit's idea for this community? And given that, what am I called to let go of? What am I called to embrace? It's a powerful, powerful spiritual practice. So what I chose for my release were a few things. Worry, which goes along with fear, right? Fear fuels worry. Anybody else have a tendency to worry about your life? Yeah, a few of you. And the other thing I chose to release was my perceived need to control things. I've talked about this before. Anybody else have that? You know, and it's interesting in this, isn't it? Because in New Thought, in both Unity and Science of Mind, we teach that we do have control over conditions, that we can shift our consciousness and thereby shift what we experience in life. And that is very, very true. I mean, even Jesus said, you know, what ye pray believing you shall receive. If you have faith the size of a mustard seed, you shall say to that mountain, move, and it will. We can do impossible things, not we ourselves, but Spirit through us and through prayer can do that. However, sometimes we need to accept what's going on, look at what's going on, not run away from it, not hide from it, not stick our heads in the sand, but look at it full on and know with faith that things can shift as we shift. Yes? Okay. So my need to control is kind of based on I need to do it. And you know what, folks? I don't need to do it. You don't need to do it. Spirit does it. Spirit is the power, the only power. And it responds to our thoughts. It responds to our prayer. It responds to our consciousness. So this is what I set out to release. And there were many processes during the week where we wrote down the words we wanted to release secretly, covered by a page, and we put it up on a wall, and the practitioners prayed for it all week. We wrote the word that we were wanting to experience on a little candle and put it on our personal altars. And then we were told to walk through a threshold. So before I tell you my experience of walking through the thresholds, I want to tell you a story that was a part of the talk that Reverend Andrea Aceveda gave at the center. It's a myth, and I believe it's a very powerful myth. So see if you can relate to this. There once was a woman who had walked a path of spiritual evolvement. She had mastered things like patience and compassion and tolerance. But one day her mentor looked at her and said, "My dear, you have come a long, long way. It is time now for you to face, to battle fear. You're ready for the greatest test. You must meet fear, who waits at the threshold. The ancient gatekeeper who has stood before every soul since time began. You must bow, for he is no enemy, but you must not obey, for fear is no master." So the woman set out on her hero's journey. She climbed mountains and forded streams and comes eventually to a great stone gate. And there stood fear, vast, winged, wrapped in shadow, eyes burning like fire, and around his neck hung a chain of shining keys. He spoke, and oh, his voice made the very stones tremble. "I am fear, gatekeeper of this threshold. None may pass without facing me. I have turned back kings and undone prophets. Tell me, traveler, will you bow to me as your master?" Well, the woman trembled a bit, but she remembered her mentor's words. She did bow quite low, not out of submission, but out of respect. And she stood up completely tall and said to fear, "I honor you, gatekeeper, but I will not obey you." What happened then is interesting. Whenever we stand up to a bully, fear grew very quiet. His wings folded in, the fire in his eyes softened. He placed a key in her hand and said, Don't listen to me. For ages you've believed my cries and commands, but now you have spoken truly. I was never your master. I am only the test at the doorway. My voice is loud, but it is not truth. Walk on, even trembling, and the way will open. And so, with that, the gate in this stone arch opened. It swung wide. The woman stepped through, still shaking, but free. Can you feel that? Freedom. And so it said, fear is not the enemy. It's simply a gatekeeper. Bow to it, honor it, but do not listen to it or obey it. The gate will swing wide. You step forward. Yes, you're still trembling, but you are free. So think about this. The guardians, the threshold guardians, the things that stand between us and where we want to go, what we want to experience, what we want to do. Sometimes it's fear, anxiety, worry. Sometimes it's anger, resentment, the need to take revenge. It might be something very internal, like false beliefs, limiting beliefs that we collected as children often. You know, I'm not good enough, smart enough, I'm not worthy. Those are all threshold guardians that can prevent us from moving forward. So I want you to think for a moment, if you would. What are your threshold guardians? What are the thoughts, the people, the things, the circumstances, the institutions that you feel are guarding the gateway to your better yet to be, to your powerful stepping forward to be who you came here to be? And let us remember that we can honor them, we can bow to them, but we don't have to listen. Fear itself said that. We can know that as we acknowledge but move forward, even trembling, the gates before us will open. Let's just take a deep breath on that one. I love this quote from Michael Beckwith. When you believe more in what you don't see than what you do see, what you don't see, wait a minute, let me do that again. When you believe more in what you don't see than what you do see, you won't see what you do see now. Isn't that great? The power of our belief, the power of our shift in consciousness. So, we have this idea of Sangha, the power of Sangha. We have this idea of the threshold guardians and that hero's journey of that beautiful woman, brave soul. Another gatekeeper, another threshold guardian can be, as I mentioned, unforgiveness. And it's interesting, when I put together the bullet points for this talk, I guess it was Saturday. It was just yesterday? Maybe it was, I started Friday. I was missing a story. I had a story that I really liked from the Book of the Month, a Thich Nhat Hanh story that's lovely, and I may share it with you, but it didn't quite fit with the message this morning. So I went to bed Saturday night, releasing control, and just knowing, as always happens, Spirit would deliver something to put in its place. And sure enough, I went to my desk this morning, and I had printed out a story 2 weeks ago that I didn't end up using. That was perfect. So here is this one, and this is a true story, folks. It's the story of a woman named Deborah Piegler and her journey of forgiveness. In 1983, Deborah's only son, Derek, was murdered by a young man named Michael Thomas, a young man who had been involved with a gang. This loss, of course, was just devastating to Deborah. She was bereft, she was angry, understandably, and her pain was compounded by the fact that this young man was a member of the very community in which she lived. However, despite her profound grief and outrage, Deborah made a remarkable choice, defying a conventional response to such a tragedy. Instead of seeking revenge, She chose the path of forgiveness. This journey led her to reach out to Michael Thomas while he was still in prison, and over time, their relationship developed into one of mutual respect and understanding. Deborah's act of forgiveness extended beyond just words and visiting him. She worked tirelessly to support Michael's rehabilitation and his personal growth. Her love and forgiveness, as you might understand, played a significant role in Michael's transformation. It helped him turn his life around. Eventually, he became an advocate for preventing violence. In 1990, after Michael had served his sentence and was released, he had shown great remorse. He had been reformed. Deborah made another extraordinary decision. She adopted Michael as her own son, bringing him into her family. This profound act of love and forgiveness not only served Michael, but also, as you can imagine, buoyed Deborah's own journey toward peace and reconciliation. This story is detailed in the book called Forgiveness, The Journey of Deborah Piegler. It was published in 2001. It highlights the transformative power of love and forgiveness, allowing Deborah, as you can imagine, to soar once again in love rather than in the depths of despair and anger and wanting revenge. Wow. Wow. We can all do this, folks. We are capable of looking those demons, those threshold guardians in the eye and walking through the threshold. Our founder of Science of Mind, Ernest Holmes, said this: have enthusiasm, and above all, have a consciousness of love, a radiant feeling flowing through your consciousness at all times. A consciousness of love helps us to soar. At the retreat this weekend, after we all determined what we wanted to release and who those threshold guardians were, at the end of that session, when we left the auditorium, I was one of those chosen to hold a wand and to bless each person as they walked. The threshold was decorated with turquoise, my color. It was decorated. And we blessed each person, and this is what we said as they walked through. Step forward. Your soul knows the way. Step forward. Your soul knows the way. So I want to remind me and remind us all how important Sangha is. How important it is when we're in the throes of depression or hopelessness or anger or fear to connect with each other. You do that. I'm preaching to the choir. You're here or you're watching us online. See a practitioner or a minister. Get prayer. That is how we battle. We honor, we look at the threshold guardians, but we don't listen to them. We bow to them in that we acknowledge them, but we don't obey them. Sangha. So very, very important. Let's remember, we can indeed soar, that we can be thermostats, not thermometers. When we set that tone, when we radiate love and warmth and forgiveness, we all know it not only affects us, just as Deborah's acts of forgiveness affected the young man and her, and I'm sure everyone in her sphere of influence. When we're able to be that thermostat, it has a huge impact on everybody in our room, everyone in our world, everyone in the neighborhood. Yes? Yeah. That's really all I have to say. Let's figure out what our demons are, what our threshold guardians are. Let's look them in the eye. Let's step forward knowing that our souls, our inner higher selves know the way forward. And sometimes the exact things that seem to be in our way become the way. Yes, they become the way. This tragedy that Deborah and her family suffered became the way for transformation and for transforming others in the process. I'm going to leave you with this. I can't remember who this was. Human progress never rolls in on wheels of inevitability. It comes through the tireless efforts of people willing to be co-workers with God. God moves in. Spirit moves in. When we decide to step through that threshold, we don't do it alone. Yes? We are co-workers with the divine, with that living Spirit Almighty that lives within us. All right, my friends, let's do it. Let's go boldly forward, and let's go into prayer. I am so grateful for this past week, for all the beauty that I saw, for all the evidence of the Creator, the one Spirit, the one creative principle, the power of love, of beauty, of order, of magnificence. I know it is all there is. It is everywhere present, all-knowing, all-powerful. All things are possible through God, with God. We are spiritual beings having a human experience. We are here to be the magnificence, to be the love. We are here to rise above the apparent limitations, circumstances, divisiveness we see on the planet, to get the higher view, to soar on the wings of love, to establish the environment that we want to see past the things we don't like. And knowing as we do that, we no longer see them. We see truth with a capital T. We see oneness. We see love. We see unity. We are the transformers, co-workers with the divine. So I know this week each of us is given the courage, even if trembling, to walk through the threshold, past our threshold guardians, and to be the love we are here to be. I am so grateful for this teaching, so grateful for this community, so grateful for the past week lived in a beautiful, loving Sangha, able to soar in love. I release this word now, knowing it's heard as all prayers. It's already answered, and I invite you to say with me, so it is. Amen.
Burned away, only divine remain. I offer myself into the sun, mighty Holy One, illuminate your sons and your daughters this day.
Supreme light,
the supreme love, the holy sacred presence and ascended ones. I invite thee, we invoke thee, come and join us fully. Saturate each cell of our bodies and rise up our vibrations and bless all nations. Divine love to all our relations. all. Divine love heals all. Divine love, divine love. Oh. Satchitananda, Satchitananda.
Divine love, oh,
Satchitananda,
divine love,
Satchitananda.
divine love.
So Satchitananda is a Sanskrit name for God and the interconnection and divine intelligence behind all that is. And when we experience that, we experience this unconditional joy and unconditional love. So if you'd like to sing those words, Satchitananda with me.
Satchitananda, Satchitananda.
Let's try it.
Satchitananda, Satchitananda.
Nice. A few more.
Satchitananda,
Satchitananda. Satchitananda, Satchitananda. Satchitananda, Satchitananda. Satchitananda, Satchitananda. Satchitananda, Satchitananda. Satchitananda, Satchitananda. Satchitananda, Satchitananda.
divine love,
Heals all.
heals all.
Divine love.
Divine
Heals all.
love,
Divine love. Heals all. And divine
I offer
love.
myself to the flame
Divine love.
in your holy
Heals all.
name
Divine love.
to be burned away.
Oh.
Oh,
Satchitananda, Satchitananda. Satchitananda, Satchitananda.
Beautiful, you two. Thank you. Thank you. It's time now for our tithes and offerings. A thank you to those who have been continued to support us. It's summertime, and just a reminder, you're all here, so I'm preaching to the choir, but our giving's been a little bit light. It always is in the summer, and it always comes back in the fall, but just a reminder, if you're away, you can always give online, and we appreciate those who do that. I also want to acknowledge, too, the people who are watching us online. You can give by clicking on the QR code or going to our website, cslroguevalley.org, and acknowledge those watching us, including today, Robin Jones and DeLacy Trinidad, watching either on YouTube or Facebook. Welcome to you guys. You're part of this Sangha as well. So if you will take your gift, some of you give online, and I do too, so I'm going to put my plastic Benjamin in the basket as a symbol of my continued giving. Thank you, Sue and Mary. And if you would repeat our affirmation with me, please. You ready? Graciously I give from a place of love, knowing that as I give, so do I richly receive.
my soul sings out to you, my love. My soul sings out to you. My soul sings out to you, my love. My soul sings out to you.
time for announcements. As always, we have a lot going on in this community. Drumming Circle is happening this week after service. Will Richardson, where are you? There you are. Come on up. We have drums if you didn't bring one. Enjoy that after our fellowship time. It's today instead of next week because next week we have a concert. Mitchell Miller and Alyssa Narum will be here, and they're going to do a concert afterwards, and you know how awesome they are. So it is a fundraiser concert, love offering. Please plan to stay next week for that. Our men's group meets tomorrow at 11 a.m. On Tuesday, we have, as usual, Tai Chi at 10 and poetry as spiritual practice at 11. Miracle Makers group meets Wednesday at 10:30. Reverend Stephanie Clark, I'm going to invite you up to talk about our luau, which is planned for the 23rd of this month.
Good morning, everybody. Who's already signed up for the luau? Woohoo! So we've got room for 40 people. It's at my home with my husband, Jim. Please sign up on the sheet outside if you'd like to come. It's next Saturday at 4 o'clock in the afternoon. And we're asking you, when you sign up, to please indicate what potluck dish you're going to bring. We need salads, we need sides, drinks are handled, no alcohol, please. And in the box next to your name, please write how many people are coming. So if you're coming, you write your name, but if you're coming with your partner, write 2 in the box so we can exactly assess how many people will be there. And during the week, DeLacy is going to give you a call to organize the cars and the carpool and parking and everything. We've got room for 10 cars in our house, so in our yard, not in our house. So, yeah, so that's it. So please sign up, and remember, it's capped at 40, so we've got about 15 spaces left, so please make sure you sign up if you want to come. Thanks.
Thank you so much for hosting us. Let's give her a little hand. And I believe our dancers, our luau dancers, are going to be performing. Yeah, our luau dancers that attended Julie Sorensen's class a couple weeks ago will be performing, so you don't want to miss that. We had a youth leaders training scheduled for that same day. That is being postponed. It's not being canceled, but it's being postponed. So stay tuned for more information on that. And let's see, we're still looking, I believe, for volunteers for our upcoming pet blessing, which will be held at Tuvale Park on my birthday, September 20th. There's a sign-up sheet in Bosworth Hall. If you haven't signed up already for our weekly e-newsletter, there's a sign-up sheet by the back door for that. And let's see, anything else? There is a prayer box in the back of the sanctuary. Please, our practitioners and ministers, it's their honor and pleasure to pray for you or anyone you are concerned about. Please fill a prayer request out. Those watching online can send a prayer request on our website. And those prayers are prayed over by our practitioners all week, and at the end of the month, they are sent on to Unity Village, to the Silent Unity Vigil. So that's a lot of powerful prayer happening there. I think that's it. I'm going to invite our practitioners and ministers to come forward. Please remember, these folks have been trained to pray with you, to know the truth for you. Don't leave here with a heavy heart. Take advantage of their heart, of their deep spiritual belief in you and in the universe. We can pray up here on the stage, back in my office, in the living room area, wherever you like. I think that's it. I'm going to turn it back over to the musicians. Please join us afterwards for food and fellowship in Bosworth Hall. Turning it over to the musicians for our closing song. If you're able, please stand.
I release and I let go. I let the Spirit run my life, and my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. No more struggle, no more strife. With my faith I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. One more time. I release and I let go. I let the Spirit run my life, and my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. No more struggle. No more struggle. No more strife. No more strife. With my faith I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, strife.
By faith I see the light. I am free in the spirit.
Yes, I'm only here for 2 more times on that. Yes, I'm only here for God. One more. Yes, I'm